for a series of games that started before most of you were even born, Activision really dropped the fucking ball on this one. It's honestly inexcusable.
The very idea of a game that looks and plays this terribly in 2015 is a slap in the face to even those who develop shitty mobile games that rip off of bigger titles in an attempt to cash in before being exposed.
Even if the game played perfectly and there were no glitches or issues, it still looks like something that was released at least a decade ago. Why are you even attempting to pass off this blatant nostalgia grab as something worth $60? Shame! Shame!
Shame! Shame!
There's a dog fucking Elliot over here.
Then, when you actually add in the fact that the day one patch for the game was bigger than the actual game itself, you're honestly just taking the piss.
Yeah, despite the day one patch, you can see dozens of videos online where the game is pretty much unplayable to a point, and even the simplest maneuvers are hindered by the game's inability to function its core mechanics.
It should be fucking illegal to pass this thing off as a finished product. Because of this game, T.U.G.S is officially declaring Activision the Volkswagen of video game companies.
Yes, the CEO should step down, they should recall this waste of plastic and bandwidth, and should be forced to pay hefty fines for deceiving customers.
The only thing Activision has done right, as far as we can tell, is acquire companies like Blizzard and then manage to not completely fuck them up. So, bravo, I guess.
And for their part, Activision has publicly acknowledged the fact that the game is a glitchy mess and claims to be working on a solution with the developers. But, I mean, who's gonna buy this at this point anyway? It's just... I bought it. You already bought it regardless of the glitches and shit, and you bought it for the purpose of glitching out on a live stream. You disingenuous fuck. Leave our studio.
He was very straightforward about his intention.
Anyways, we'll calm down for now because Shibby is gonna give his ethical review of the game later in the show.
Yeah, because right now we have to talk about another completely out of touch CEO, the CEO of GameStop, who says that disc-based games will be around forever.
Oh God, are you fucking kidding me with this shit? This is like the CEO of Blockbuster saying, "Nah, I think people will want to come in and deal with our bullshit forever." Or like the phone company saying that telephone books will never go away. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, telephone books really will never go away.
They are printing them without my. I'm not accepting that printed phone book, and I throw it away.
We're doing it. We're doing it. As hard drive space increases while the cost for data storage decreases and the data transfer speeds excel into speeds we never thought possible, the idea that people will jump in their fossil fuel powered car, drive across town to a shitty strip mall, and wait in line to pay the same price they would online, if not more, just to buy a piece of plastic from your store while being badgered by the staff to get a membership card and trade in your other worthless plastic, only to return home, shove the disc into your console, and then wait for the game to fucking download 17 patches anyway, is completely delusional.
Physical media will be around forever? Get real, dude. Fuck's sake. Do we have anything positive to talk about this week, Brett?
I mean, here's some big news. Star Wars Battlefront's open beta dates have been officially announced.
We told you recently that anyone who wants to play in this beta is welcome to join, whether you're on PC, PS4, or Xbox One. Sorry, old gen peasants, and you'll all get your chance to have a hands-on experience with Battlefront starting on October 8th, and the beta will continue until October 12th.
Plenty of time to get the hang of this game and wet your whistle, enough to where's my whistle?
It's not a whistle.
Plenty of time to get the hang of this game and wet your whistle.
It's not a whistle.
Enough to maintain excitement for its release in November.
But, T.U.G.S, what do we actually get to play in this beta, you might be asking? Well, idiot, why don't you go read one of the thousands of gaming news blogs out there instead of waiting weeks at a time for us to lazily tell you out of sheer boredom and a thirst for views. We recommend the site Rock Paper Shotgun.
But anyways, according to Rock Paper Shotgun, here's what will be included. A Walker Assault on Hoth, which is a 40-player battle, Rebels versus Empire, and it will be filled with AT-ATs and Y-Wing bombers.
What the fuck is an AT-AT?
AT&T.
Whatever.
You love Star Wars.
I don't love Star Wars.
You have a Tauntaun in your room.
I didn't buy that. Joel left it, and then he let his dog piss on it.
Start over.
You can read the Star Wars shit, I don't care.
A Walker Assault on Hoth, which is a 40-player battle, Rebels versus Empire, and it will be filled with the AT-ATs.
Sometimes reading's just hard, you can understand this.
And it will be filled with the AT-ATs and Y-Wing bombers you've been frothing over.
And there is an 8v8 match where you fight for control over falling escape pods and on a survival mission on Tatooine. Why are we talking? This is like actual news. I don't understand why we're talking so much about this.
Anyways.
Seems like a pretty hefty beta if you ask me, but if you didn't, you know, who cares? Fuck you, whatever.
Also, TwitchCon happened this past weekend, and I heard it was a huge success and that everyone had a great time, but it was really, really hard for me to pay attention while I was on the North Shore of Oahu sipping on Mai Tais. So, what actually happened at TwitchCon, Bradley? Well, at least what did they announce?
All right, well, I got obliterated every night. Also, they are bringing a lot of the same features that YouTube initially had in place, like uploads and playlists. Actually, I mean, you know, they didn't initially have that in place. They added that later. Over to their platform in an attempt to stay competitive now that YouTube Gaming is fully launched and is attempting to lure top talent back into its clutches.
Sounds like two competing companies developing their platforms out of fear of losing the battle to the other one. That sounds like good business after all. Thanks, capitalism!
Competition.
Oh, you win!
But we haven't talked about esports yet. Oh my God. And for that, we go to our brand new esports correspondent, Elliot, for the latest. Take it away, Elliot!
It's the Esports Report. Listen up, people, because recently Colin Cowherd was at it again, making esports athletes and the fans of esports themselves look like idiots for enjoying a sport that in his eyes isn't worthy of the fan base that it's gained over the last few years. I believe the exact quote was, "It's the same as professional wrestling. It's for booger eaters." This man is a hero, and I think anything that he says about esports needs to be given the respect it deserves. This man has been talking about real sports for his entire life. What have you done with your life? Nothing. And he had the fucking moral conviction to actually leave his job. He followed through on his promise to not stick around with ESPN as soon as they put their little fat fingers into the esports bucket. He got out of there and now he's going solo. He's got his own little podcast, and you know what? He still fucking hates esports. He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't understand it. The last video game he played was fucking Pong, and he's gonna let you know about it. So, here's my challenge. MLG, hire Colin Cowherd as your new color commentator for your next event. Give him his own booth. Set him up. Don't explain anything to him. I want to hear his unfiltered thoughts on a live esports match happening right in front of him. Make it happen.
Oh my God!
Literally broke.
Well, thanks, Elliot. I'm sure he'll remain a consistent guest and a vital part of this show moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, Elliot. You're officially our new esports correspondent. But speaking of people who should have been fired from T.U.G.S months ago, here's Shibby with his review of NBA 2K16. Woo! Oh wait, no, sorry, that game's actually fucking great. You're doing Tony Hawk, right?
Rejoicing voices can be heard on high from the Batman Arkham Night Camp over at the Warner Brothers lot because Activision and the embarrassment, and that is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, have fucked up beyond measure, competing for the T.U.G.S title of Worst Game of the Year. Calling up drama alert because Activision has been exposed for clearly rushing this shit-tier piece of shit title because their licensing deal of Tony Hawk franchise is set to expire in the end of 2015. Get that internet connection ready for the day one 8GB patch, and take note, if you're gonna renew a contract, you may as well totally destroy the intellectual property before anyone else gets their hands on it. I take back everything I said about the Taken King because charging $60 for this dumpster fire pushes the envelope for publishers testing to see how dumb console players really are. This game looks like a shitty Vita handheld title that should actually be free to play with all the in-game advertising all over the playable environments. Just like my teammates in all my MOBAs, basically everyone in your free skate lobby will be most likely AFK and incapable of simple human interactions. Dodge a bullet matrix style and avoid this title like the plague. 0 out of 10.
Get out of here, this has nothing to do with esports.
But Shane, much like people who watch esports, is a booger eater.
Yeah.
So let's find out what real people thought about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
This one comes from Richie, no relation, on Amazon with the title, The End Has Come. He says,
the creators of this game should be sent to a North Korean prison, maybe Camp 14. They need to get their privileges checked. E.T. on the Atari is better than this game. This is the official sign of the apocalypse. May God have mercy on all of our souls. And
that's a pretty sterling review from Richie. Good guy.
Good guy,
Anyways,
Richie.
guys, that's T.U.G.S. I hope it was worth the wait. It clearly wasn't. And we've destroyed pretty much everything we had left in this broom closet of a studio. Don't break that. We need that.
Cancel!
Also, the entire time we were in here, a dog was having sex with everyone's legs.
It's true.
But what else are you gonna do? I don't know. Watch our episodes over here that you haven't seen yet, and subscribe to our channel if all hope is truly lost. Bye.
End times, baby. Canceled.
All right.